New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Our very own Mike Hawk brought this story to my attention. Thank you, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Sadly, this is the kind of story that brings me joy. Today, we toast 57-year-old Janet Fowle of West Sussex, England. Now, Janet suffers from a crippling case of agoraphobia. And agoraphobia, in case you do not know, it's defined as an extreme or irrational fear of entering open or crowded places or leaving one's own home. All right. Okay. So to put it in perspective, Janet had only left her home twice in the last 10 years. That is a decade. She only left her home twice. Well, as part of her rehabilitation, a friend of hers helped coax her outside. It wasn't easy to take that first step out of her front door, but she finally summoned the courage, stepped outside, and immediately fell into a manhole.
Oh, no.
She fractured her leg, had 2 black eyes, and does not plan on leaving home again. Brother, I mean, she literally took a step outside of her home.
I told you.
But, that's basically her response. She said, look, I've been working on this. I understand my condition. I know it's irrational, but it's a crippling thing. She worked her way toward it. Her friend got her out there, and I mean, poof, gone. So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola!
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
And as we celebrate 50 years of KISW every weekend at noon, both Saturday and Sunday, 25 from 50. As Ryan Castle this weekend will take you through the 25 most memorable hair bands of all times. Neither one of these two bands made the 25 from 50.
Oh.
So we figured we'd give them a little airtime here. So the choices today, Bullet Boys and their smash hit, Smooth Up In Ya, the song that constantly plays on Ted's phone when someone calls him.
I love it.
Versus Autograph, Turn Up the Radio. Mike, how was the voting?
What's that, Miles?
I said, how was the voting?
What's that?
I said, how was the voting?
I can't hear you. I'm going to have to turn up my radio.
Yeah. Oh, you got it there, Ted.
Oh, they whooped him.
Yeah.
Bitches! 75 to 25.
Welcome to the weekend. Here is your winner on a Bad Choice Friday. You are listening to The Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream. He allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimate.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy. An obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
99.9 KISW.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today, the Jimmys.
Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
All right.
Trevor Noah.
Oh, Trevor Noah.
Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there in the title. These guys have teams of talents and writers go over their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a V. Ted Smith original?
The tuna lawsuit against Subway is back, and now they're saying the tuna contains chicken, pork, and cattle DNA. Even crazier, when they tested Subway's chicken and pork, they found it's 100% tuna.
That's Fallon.
Yeah, Fallon.
That's Fallon.
The tuna lawsuit against Subway sandwiches is back. And now they're saying that the tuna contains chicken, pork, and cattle DNA. Even crazier, when they tested Subway's chicken and pork, they found it's 100% tuna.
Really? That's too much tuna. According to a new poll, 76% of Americans say that Facebook makes society worse. Said Zuckerberg, right. But what do you think of Meta?
Seth Meyers.
Lee Ted Smith.
Seth Meyers.
According to a new poll, 76% of Americans said that Facebook makes society worse. Said Zuckerberg, right. But what do you think of Meta?
Does it say Meta on there now when you go to log in?
It says Facebook presented by or powered by Meta or something like that.
Okay. So it's the slow transition.
They're going to change anything.
I don't know that they are going to transition.
I don't know that they're going to transition completely.
Because Instagram does the same thing. If you open it up, it'll say Instagram by Meta.
Gotcha. Okay.
Here's a strange story from Mother Nature. Apparently, there's yet another thing to worry about with this pandemic. It now appears that deer are catching COVID-19, but the deer don't really give a buck.
The Ted Smith.
Yes, that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, boy.
The Postmaster General just said today that the Postal Service is ready for the holiday package rush. Unfortunately, the holiday he was talking about is July 4th.
Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
Fallon.
Postmaster General just said that the U.S. Postal Service is ready for the holiday package rush. Unfortunately, the holiday they're talking about is July 4th, but still, they're ready.
Not just a postmaster, I'm also a general.
That's right.
Apple CEO Tim Cook said in an interview this week that he's worried about the amount of time people spend scrolling mindlessly on their devices.
No, he's not.
Which is kind of like hearing your weed dealer is worried about if you sleep too much.
Seth Meyers.
Yeah, Myers.
That's it.
Apple CEO Tim Cook said in an interview this week that he's worried about the amount of time people spend, quote, scrolling mindlessly on their devices, which is kind of like hearing that your weed dealer is worried you sleep too much.
It's weird now, right? Because you go to a shop. I feel like the weed dealer I see of the bud tender, she would just be worried about my chakras.
Right.
You low on Keith?
The FAA has proposed a more than $200,000 in fines for, what did I write here? The FAA has proposed more than $200,000 in fine for 10 unruly passengers. And starting today, if you're flying from Florida, they ask you if you want to prepay.
Said Myers. But yeah, I'm going to go Myers.
Fallon.
The FAA has proposed more than $200,000 in fines for 10 unruly passengers. And this is nice. Starting today, if you're flying from Florida, they ask if you want to prepay your fine.
Miles, you were talking about this the other day. So Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, right? They switched shows. And what I mean by that is one was supposed to be on Jimmy Kimmel, one was supposed to be on Jimmy Fallon. But they switched shows and they showed up on the other ones.
Which are, by the way, 2,000 miles apart.
Mm-hmm. Right. One tapes, Jimmy Kimmel tapes in New York. Jimmy Fallon tapes in New York, obviously at Rockefeller Center. Jimmy Kimmel tapes in L.A.
Right. The
Kodak Theater now? Kodak?
It's now on Hollywood Boulevard.
I know.
He's by the Kodak Theater.
Right. It's a beautiful theater that he redid.
We had tickets.
Didn't go?
No, we drank
at the bar.
We drank at the
street.
Disney bar. Yeah,
that counts.
I mean, the taping's like 4 or 5. It was too early.
See, I think that would have been easier to go see.
It would have been if we didn't start drinking so early.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Like a 9 p.m. taping.
No, Ted, you're right.
We know.
We didn't say it should have been later. We just said it was too early.
We said what happened.
Right.
We ran into Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got stoned.
So here's the deal. Now, both Jimmys, to their credit, act pretty surprised, and they're not supposed to know. Let's listen to the audio, then I want everybody's opinion. Do you think they know, or are they just faking it?
Please welcome the always entertaining, the one and only Will Ferrell. Ryan Reynolds, it is.
Oh my God! I just put the kids to bed. I was walking the dog around the block. Will called.
Okay.
Said he was running a little late.
Okay.
Asked me if I'd jump in for him. I said, anything for you, Will.
Yeah,
I'm in.
How late is Will running?
He's going to be here in about 1:30. Never. Will's not coming.
Please welcome Ryan Reynolds. Well, look at you.
That was very nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you do? Where's Ryan?
Ryan couldn't make it. Yeah.
So
no, I got a text from him. Said he was running late. Which usually means he's not going to show up.
Right.
And, I'm just excited for Red Notice.
Oh yeah. Are you in Red Notice?
I am not.
I think they knew.
Yeah, I think they did too.
Sure.
Because it's right.
You talk to the guests before you see them, especially if you're friends and a reoccurring guest. You don't just let Will Ferrell sit in the green room and not come in and say hi.
Supposedly Kimmel's green rooms are legendary.
I have heard stories.
Right, because he used to always have the bar, like, back in the day. But, yeah, like, I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, and I'm with you. Now, look, it's funny, right? Because basically Will Ferrell's pimping Ryan's movie. Ryan Reynolds is pimping his movie. But they're not in each other's movies.
And neither one have seen it. But they are in a movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
So I think they're in cahoots with that.
Right. They recently filmed a Christmas musical together called Spirited.
Yeah, I guarantee you the host knew. But in the end, the guests don't. And that's the only point of doing the show, right? Entertain your audience. So you keep telling Will Ferrell, and then Ryan Reynolds comes out. That's great if you're a guest, right? That's cool.
You're throwing me off, by the way, when you say guest.
What do you mean?
That's the audience. The guest is the person on the show.
That's what I mean.
Oh.
So if you switch the guest, right?
Right.
So if you're in the audience, I would think that's a cool thing. Unless you were dying to see
that's my thing, though. What if you were dying to see, like, I would love to see Will Ferrell. Like, I was going to, we got Ryan Reynolds. Like, he's cool.
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be different if it were like a band, right? Like I paid to see Metallica, Tool comes out. Now, it's not that you don't like Tools. Not that it wouldn't be a great show, but like, that's a little different, and you have to pay money. But, when you get to go somewhere for free, and then it's Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds.
I don't think
it's okay with that, but it'd be different if it were, I expected to see Keanu Reeves or Meryl Streep shows up.
Well, not only that, but we're guys. So both of those guys fit through the cool guy filter, right? If you're a woman and you think that Ryan Reynolds is sexy because he was the sexiest man alive, then you might be disappointed when Chad Smith rolls out.
Right.
Like, oh, God, I just wanted to see him in person.
Well, you guys bought tickets. Does it say on the ticket who the guest is?
Or I have
we
no
didn't
idea.
get that far. I mean, maybe we should have looked at that. We would have gone.
Ted, look, we were literally staying a block and a half away from where Kevin
We walked by it while it was being
did you physically buy tickets, or were you just going to try to walk over?
No, you didn't go online, man.
And
And you said what day you're coming, and they give them to you they were comped.
Yeah, they're
I had
free.
them in my pocket.
And we knew that.
They mailed them to you.
But we're sitting at the bar, and it's
Oh, yeah.
like, well, we can watch it tonight, man.
We don't have to go in there to see this.
I did that with the Black Crows once, but we just didn't drive all the way down to White River.
Okay, fair enough.
Just listen to him in the car in Queen Anne.
Yeah. Instead of somebody's house to listen to him.
Yeah, it's like being down there.
We were right there.
I'm trying to think if
I mean, literally.
Well, listen, I mean, when
Ted, we were 100 yards away.
I've done it with Maryland games. I was a little bit younger. I'm trying to think recently if
We're young at heart.
All right.
Actually, we just got weed, and we've been down
That's
there
true, man.
for 3 days, and we hadn't scored weed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I scored weed off the guy who owned the bar.
Yeah, this old Turkish dude.
Just the stinkiest stuff ever. And then we went to the bar, and Marilyn Monroe said, God, you guys reek of weed. And we said, yeah, you want to go get high? And she's like, hell yeah.
So we're like, okay.
So we went up to the room and got high while Marilyn Monroe sat on the bed, which is weird when you're looking at someone, pass them a joint, and they look exactly like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, hit it again.
It was bizarre. It was almost better than Kimmel. Kimmel couldn't do
It
that.
was. You couldn't recreate that
We got
moment.
high with Marilyn Monroe.
I mean, if Kimmel said, hey, if you guys show up, I'll smoke with you. Be like, all right, can we bring Marilyn?
Squid Game 2, it's happening.
All right.
It's kind of weird. This guy, remember, I'm not even going to try to say his name. He wasn't planning on doing a second season. The first season, when it ends, is pretty open-ended.
Sure.
And also, he shopped that thing around for 10 years before anybody took it.
It's funny how that works, right? Everyone turns it down, turns it down, turns it down, turns it down. You get your opportunity, thing blows up, and it's like, you're coming back.
I told you. And then you have all those other people who have to say, I turned this show down. So that's the other end of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's 10 years of people saying, like, I thought it sucked. Now they're watching it.
But you don't tell your boss that.
I just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point?
Hey, look, George Lucas went through. Think about this. Everybody turned down Star Wars. Like, hell, we're not going to make this movie. We're not going to make this movie. They put out Star Wars. The rest is history.
Have you guys watched Squid Games yet?
You know I haven't.
No.
Thrill, have you checked that All-American?
You know what? I'm going to check it out sometime and not tell you. And you're going to ask me
But
one
that's
day.
the high
I'm going to
school
say
show, right?
yes.
But that's the high school show.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you know
Bless you, Mike.
it's like the Wheelhouse. You know he's not going to like that.
Ted insists that I will like it.
That's like you see it recommending a rom-com to me when you watched it on a plane.
But hang on, but there's other people like me that watch this show. You're right. It is based on high school football players, but it's more than just about high school football, man.
You have the same pitch every time.
It's about life.
Like, are they paying you? It is.
Right.
It is the same pitch.
But you're 17 years old. You know what I mean? Like, the kids are.
Well, yeah, in the show.
Yeah.
They're probably like 28.
And it's a little ridiculous how they hang out.
Look, he's trying to get laid.
Oh, look, we watch
Well,
Cobra
it's
Kai.
not just that.
We watch Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Look, man, we saw the original Karate Kid, but all of the kids involved in Cobra Kai, and they're high school. Granted, in Cobra Kai, if you have high school drama, you don't go home and cry. You kick someone's ass
That's
for
a good
karate,
point.
but still.
That's a good point.
We all watch it. We all love it. And it is the dumbest show I've ever seen.
I do watch Cobra Kai, so maybe.
I'm telling you, you'd like All-American, and you could watch it with your wife.
Can I watch it with my kids? Or is it-
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's a little, it's a CW show. So there's not like nudity or anything. It just got got canceled because not a lot of people had watched the first season. Then it went to Netflix, and a bunch of sports nerds like me were like, "This is great." But I'm telling you, you can watch it with your wife. One name, 2 words. Tay Diggs.
Done. Right. You know her.
You'll enjoy it, and it talks about different. Like I don't need to pitch it. You've heard it already. Anyhow. The guy that's making Squid Games, he said, look, the main character, he'll, quote, do something for the world. He'll come back. This is also one of the most watched shows ever. 2/3 of Netflix households checked out Squid Game in its first 4 weeks. That's about 142 million households out of 214.
Okay.
And again, remember, Netflix. Yeah, Netflix used to be video rental. What the hell were they? Original.
What was movies? They would send them to you in the mail,
right?
And then you would send them back.
They also had vending machines, like outside of 7-Elevens and stuff.
That's Redbox.
Oh, that was Redbox. You're right.
Yeah. Well, oh, come on.
Who are you thinking about?
Nicole Kidman.
Oh, yeah, that's who you are. Yeah, sure.
Well, and remember, when you watch the story of Blockbuster, everybody's like, Netflix killed Blockbuster. It's like, no. Netflix went to Blockbuster. And was,
you want to buy us?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You guys
you
are
silly
stupid.
little...
Silly, yeah. See how that one turned out. Yeah, that was a great call out of them.
Mm-hmm. Just like the decade of people that turned down Squid Games.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, right, there's a lot of people sitting there going, I can't believe we turned that. The thing is, though, I feel like the only people that are really mad about it is, like, there's somebody who's not the boss who didn't make that call, but there's somebody who's, like, working for that boss that's supposed to bring in new stuff and be like, I told that SOB.
I told that dumb ass.
This could have been our show.
And like you said, I just don't get it.
I don't understand what the point is.
I have this position because I don't understand a goddamn thing about this industry.
Right. It's all in Korean? Who's going to watch that? I haven't even seen one squid. Is it about calamari?
I just don't understand.
All right, let's see. What do you got going on this weekend on TV? You got a lot of stuff happening. Obviously, you got sports going on. Saturday Night Live is a brand new episode. You have Jonathan Majors host. And, just Taylor Swift is going to be the musical guest.
Oh, cool.
So I'm sure a bunch of people will see that. I hope to see Taylor Swift in a couple skits.
Do you
I bet
think
she will?
Yes.
Yeah. She likes to have fun.
Okay, I don't know anything about
Have
it.
you ever seen the picture of her handing an award to Bruno Mars?
No.
Look it up.
Okay. Do it now.
By the way, Russell Wilson back in action this weekend. It's a 1:25 kickoff. Your Seahawks are taking on.
He wear chef's coat.
He did rehab 24 hours a day to come back that quick.
I don't doubt it.
No, basically what he said was 20 hours of the day he spent rehabbing. So he's only gotten 4 hours of sleep. So let's hope he gets a good night's sleep before he plays on Sunday.
If you live with a woman that's maybe a little bit north of 50, tell her to watch Stephen Colbert tonight because that's on two sexy men, Goldblum and Rod Stewart.
Oh, wow. Thank you. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Penguin in Antarctica says to hell with a cold life and swims 2,000 miles to Kiwi land. Meanwhile, the owner of a shop is saddened as 3 4-foot statues were stolen. They were penises, and they were grand. Parole visit turns up guns, drugs, and a stolen police badge as well. Dozens of cars in Ohio need repaired because of tainted gas, the station did sell. And a 105-year-old Meemaw sets a new record in the 100-meter dash. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
Cop story. We go to the UK for a long story short. A local shop that sells concrete statues and decor had one of their statues removed by authorities due to complaints from the public about it being within view. And it's an erect 4-foot concrete penis.
I didn't know it's erect. Maybe that's flaccid.
Maybe it's a shower.
It could be. Instead of bending to the demands of authorities in order to get it back, he ordered another 150 of them from a supplier in India, starting a campaign called Free Willy in an attempt to strong-arm them into giving it back to him, which eventually worked. But now, 11 years later, CCTV footage caught a group of thieves stealing the final 3 concrete penises.
I mean, you had to know that was going to happen.
Yes.
If you put a 4-foot penis out in front of your business, count on that 4-foot penis being stolen.
Right. I just like his method. You know, everybody's complaining about it, so we're going to call the authorities to have the thing removed. And basically, it was in his display window, and it was unsightly because, let's face it, it's a penis out in the middle of public. A lot of people don't want to see that. So they stole it away. I love his ability. Like, no, you know what? I'm going to get more of them. People buy this thing up. Put photos up there.
More.
And then he goes out there after these things get stolen, like, I can't understand why anybody would do this. I know why.
Because it's a penis.
Right. There's no rhyme or reason to it other than the fact that, like, hey, look, stone penis. This will be funny. I'm going to put it in my room.
I bet you a lot of people have stolen truck nuts.
Yes. I guarantee you
because they're truck nuts. I mean, that's it. That's it. Beginning and end of the whole story.
There is a giant statue that was put in the middle of Enumclaw of 2 oxen that were pulling, just a plow of sorts, and there's a man that's standing next to it. And these were fully built oxen that were on these
anatomically correct.
Right. Like, within 2 months of these things being unveiled, somebody from the school took a welding torch, or rather a cutting torch, went out there and castrated one of them bulls and took it home.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yes. You go down there. There is one that is still hanging. The other one is officially a steer. Because that's why.
Is that what a steer means?
Yeah.
It's a bull without testicles?
Correct.
Yes.
Learn something new every day on the Men's Room, Ted.
Damn right.
That'll be a big dummy question soon.
In other news, we go to Louisiana, where the 100-meter dash record has been broken, but there is a twist. The record was broken because the athlete just created her own class bracket in order to set the original record time. She had previously set the record time of 39 seconds in the 100 to 104 age bracket, but was bested by a new athlete. Now that she's 105, she's been counted into a new category of the 105 plus setting, the best time for a little over a minute.
Think about me now.
It's kind of a run.
What was her time?
It was like 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And change, like...
Can you just make up categories?
It's 10 seconds. It's not that. It's more like she's still alive and decided she wanted to run the 100-meter again.
Their age group ended at 104.
Is kind of like, we got to come up with a new age.
No, I like that, but can I just make a category?
I suppose you could.
Yeah, I get. Well, think about it. Like we said, when we were growing up, most of the Guinness records were things like tallest, shortest, fattest, heaviest, hairiest, whatever. Right. Then people do things like, I could squeeze 18 ping pong balls onto my rectum. Like, no one was trying to do that. Right. But then you do that, and now it becomes a world record. And But what happens is, this is the part that entertains me, like, Ted shot 18 ping pong balls out of his butt. Ted, I'm going to do 19.
Yeah.
And now it becomes a thing.
And that's how I won beer pong.
Bingo.
He's good with his butt.
They call him old Buckeye.
Ooh.
Over in Ohio, a local gas station is in some hot water for a mix-up. Local repair shops have gotten dozens of calls from potential clients believing that they were affected by the error at the gas station. While the true answer is unknown, it is believed by several repair shops that cars went through the station received either diesel fuel or a combination of gasoline and diesel. They had tainted fuel that they were putting into their car.
That will do it.
That is not okay. Just destroyed a man. Over to the Bronx Zoo. We covered this a little bit earlier today. There's a bizarre encounter. A video is making the rounds from their lion exhibit in which a woman can be seen having already crossed the barricade into the exhibit, carrying flowers and $100 bills. She can then be heard talking with the lion inside of the exhibit as if they were old friends, calling him king and saying that she came back for him. Zoo authorities were alerted to the woman and assured everyone that she was not across the protective moat, but would be dealt with if they did find her. Others were quick to call for better security at the zoo.
What if the lion's like, I'm getting that money?
Right? Why the money? Already I understand that this woman's a little bit off kilter because she's already sitting there and this is an old friend of a lion. But I still, even in her rantings, believe that she believes this to be a lion, maybe one that she met in a past life. I get the flowers. Hey, I'm back. I came back for you. Boom, flowers. What are the hundies for?
She's just clout chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's all a giant act, so it's like, let's throw money around too. Which, yeah.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
To New Zealand, where an interesting creature washed up on the shore. A man out on a walk noticed that what he thought was a small toy out by the water, but it turned out to be an exhausted penguin. The story goes that the penguin had somehow swam 1,800 miles from the Antarctic Peninsula. They gave the astonishingly well penguin some fluids and a fish smoothie and attempted to get him on a flight back home. But local conservationists decided against it, releasing him into the local bay in the hopes that he just makes it home safe.
Or he just hangs out in New Zealand instead of living in Antarctica. What would you do?
Yeah, I get it. And that is it for headlines with that. Mike Hawkins up.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We'll see you up next for the Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on the Odyssey app.
Yes, indeed, it is all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch for 90 seconds. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done. With 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.